Yes guys, what's going on? It's Ashton here. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be talking about crossplay in Apex Legends and when we are likely to see it come to the game, as well as all of the latest information we have on crossplay and my opinions of what it would mean for the future of Apex Legends. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you do enjoy and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends content, or Wraith will come and kidnap you with her portal and ruin your entire life.
Sorry about that.
The gameplay you're going to be seeing on screen is my first game with the brand new Pirate Pathfinder skin, or the Full Metal Robot skin I think it's officially called, which came out yesterday, and in my first game with him I managed to drop 21 kills with my squad. Of course, thank you to them for helping me grind out the kills. It's always a pleasure playing with these boys. They're my absolute best friends on Xbox and they just help me get 21s if I want one. If I get a quick start I'll just say, "The 20's on," and they say,
"Yep, let's get it."
Anyway, you'll see in the game, we get a nice game in here thanks to them. But moving back onto today's conversation about crossplay, and it is a conversation which is very poignant in the Apex community right now. Under pretty much every Apex social media post, you can guarantee two things, and that is people saying, "Please remove SBMM, oh I'm so angry, I'm so bad at the game," and people of course saying,
"Please bring out crossplay, I want to play with my friends."
And honestly, I completely stand by the people asking for crossplay. Now a lot of you will know that Respawn have pretty much made their stance on crossplay crystal clear right from the very beginning, which is the fact that they do want to bring in crossplay, and it is something that they are keen to implement into the game at some point. And as they put it, it is something which is important to work towards in the near future. In fact, Respawn's exact response to when crossplay might come out was pretty much exactly what you'd expect to see out of a textbook for this kind of question. I think on crossplay, we see it something that is kind of expected in the industry and is important to a game like ours. We do have plans for allowing players to play with their friends on other platforms, but no time frame for that, unfortunately. Now something which has happened fairly recently which could impact how soon we see crossplay come to Apex Legends is the opening of the Apex Legends Vancouver studio, which has just been announced to the world that this is a thing, and this is massive for the future of Apex Legends. It's been said that with the release of this new studio, we can see a team of upwards of 80 plus people working on Apex Legends in this new studio in Vancouver, which is absolutely amazing. It means that we're going to be seeing tons more in-game content coming out, bug fixes hopefully coming out a lot sooner, potentially even server fixes and server upgrades, but I wouldn't hold out too much on that because it is EA we're talking about here. But personally to me, this means that we could see the advancement of crossplay coming to Apex Legends in the near future, coming a lot sooner than expected, because if there are more people working on the game, that means they're going to have more manpower to really focus on some of the things that before they just didn't have enough people and enough of a team to work towards in the past. What's really going to be interesting to me is whether or not crossplay is across the console platforms or if it also includes PC as well, and that is going to be a huge thing for crossplay in Apex Legends, because if you didn't know already, you can use a controller on the PC version of the game, so you can go controller versus keyboard and mouse. However, you cannot, well, legally use a keyboard and mouse on the console versions of Apex Legends. It is supposed to be controller only. However, there are some cheaters out there who use external hardware to make it so that Apex thinks they're using their controller when in reality they're using mouse and keyboard, which gives them a somewhat unfair advantage in many ways. But of course the controller players do have an advanced aim assists on a keyboard and mouse player, so there's always that to be said. There's always an ongoing argument as to whether keyboard and mouse is cheating or whether controller is cheating. Personally, I don't think either are cheating, but I do think that they should remain separate from one another so everyone is on a level playing field. I think keyboard and mouse players and controller players have their own advantages in other ways than one another, so I think this ongoing feud of which is better and which is more skillful will always be going on. I think my opinion on it is completely irrelevant to the topic of crossplay, but I do think that it would be a bad move by Respawn to make it so that if you have crossplay active, you're going to be matching with PC players as well, unless of course you choose to do that. I think it should very much be an option, because personally I would not want to be running against keyboard or mouse players when I'm using a controller, because I know I'm going to get spanked. I think for the future of Apex Legends though, that crossplay should be implemented into the game, especially into console crossplay, because it would just make the player base of console completely widened and it would shorten queue times massively. Currently the average queue time for a Predator lobby in Ranked is around 5 to 10 minutes, which does take a long time, and especially if you die instantly, which unfortunately happens to the best of us. You come out of a queue waiting for 10 minutes, you go into a game for maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes and you're straight back into another 10-minute queue, and it can be really demoralizing for a lot of players, especially those players who don't win many games and often die quite early in the game. They're going to be really hating their life because they're going to be spending what amounts to hours in the pre-match queue and not that much time in game. And of course you could just say get good, and oh, that's very much a gamer way of thinking.
Oh, look at me, I'm a gamer, I'm better than you. Ugh.
You've got to think these players do exist, they are just trying to have a good time, and it isn't fair on them to be waiting in the queue for that long, even though they are dying. You know, nobody wants to be waiting in the queue that long, it's not fun, and it could even deter them for playing the game in the future, which overall is a bad thing for the overall player base. On the topic of Ranked, I do think that if they do decide to implement crossplay into the game, the top 500 system for Predators on console is going to need to be scrapped or reworked into a top 1000 or top 1500, because of course with the increase in player base, so comes the increase in the level of player. So there's going to be so many more sweats in the game combined when you have PS4 and Xbox together. And I just don't think there's enough room in the top 500 for Predator for all of these sweats who are arguably good enough to be up there, but there's just not enough room for it. So I think, as a lot of people are saying, they would need to rework the entire Predator system in Ranked, but that's something that I openly acknowledge and I think would be a good thing for the game overall if you were to have this. You know, everyone likes the top 500 system right now because if you're a Predator you really deserve it and it shows you how good you are at the game. But I just think top 500 isn't a wide enough space for how many amazingly good players there are across PS4 and Xbox combined. But guys, be sure to let me know in the comments below what you think about crossplay and whether or not you want to see it in Apex Legends in the near future, and whether or not you'd like to see a crossplay where M&K players and controller players come together, or whether or not you'd like to see it remain separate. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about that in the comments below. I'm always appreciative of all of your feedback. Thank you all so much for engaging with the videos. I also want to say a massive thank you to everyone for all of the incredible support recently. Your support to the channel has been incredible. We've gained so many subs in the past couple of days, and the last 2 videos have done pretty well, so thank you so much to everyone. I appreciate all of you, and welcome to the channel if you are a new subscriber. With that guys, I'm going to leave you with the end of this 21 kill gameplay from me. I hope you do enjoy the rest of the video. If you do, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends content. But until next time guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy and goodbye.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots. Recharging my shield.
Giving my shields a recharge.
Firing.
Giving my shields a recharge.
Care package being delivered.
Incoming care package. Fire, friends. Recharging shields.
shields.
I am taking fire, friends.
Round
Reloading.
4. Beginning ring countdown.
Lucky us. We are already inside the ring. Reloading. Friends. Giving my shields a recharge.
Heads up, grenade.
Giving my shields a recharge. Recharging shield.
Are the Apex champions.
Bye.